السلام عليكم. اليوم بهذا الفيديو راح أتكلم عن موضوع The relation of milk and bone remodeling with age in orthodontic treatment. In this lecture, I will talk about what's the meaning of milk, bone remodeling, then the mechanism of bone remodeling, and finally the factor affecting the bone remodeling. The aim of this lecture to know what's the effect of milk in each age group, even the birth, before birth till the old age, and also what's the important element in milk that affect the bone remodeling, and also the importance of milk or the effect of milk on tooth movement in orthodontic treatment. I will divide this lecture into two parts to prevent any boring as possible. First of all, I will define milk. Milk is a whitish liquid produced by mammary gland of female mammals. It contains water, fat, protein, lactose, and mineral. So milk is a great source of magnesium, phosphorus, calcium, and protein that all important for healthy bone development and growth, and also for healthy teeth development and growth. So milk provide us is available source of the food that contain various nutrients such as phosphorus, protein, calcium, vitamin such as vitamin D. So all these nutrients interact with each other to prompt the bone formation and reduce the bone resorption. So diminish the bone loss that occurring with age, later with age. From this picture, we see the milk content. Milk contains 87% of water, 5% lactose, 4% fat, 3% protein, and 1% mineral. So this is the content of milk. So why calcium or why milk is very important, especially for healthy development of bone and teeth? Because milk is a rich source of calcium. We know that the calcium is the main bone forming mineral. So, meaning that calcium 99% is stored in the bone and teeth. So this is why the milk is very important, especially for healthy development of teeth and bone. And only less than 1% is found extracellular in serum calcium, extracellular serum calcium. So milk is very important even before birth, during pregnancy. The nutrition during pregnancy is very important for healthy development of the baby, of the teeth of the baby and also of the bone, especially the milk and its product. So good nutrition during pregnancy is very important, is super important for the mother and for her child or for her baby. The mother diet should contain adequate amount of calcium, phosphorus, vitamin C, and vitamin D. Especially the milk, because milk contains vitamin D. Vitamin D is very important for absorption of calcium and also contain protein. Protein is very important to develop the baby at healthy rate, to reduce low birth weight as possible. So it is super important her nutrient to her baby. Because malnutrition affects the development and the eruption of the teeth, can interrupt with the eruption of the teeth, can result in dental caries in later life, and also affect the bone development. In the teeth development may delay the eruption, may interfere with the eruption process, and also the child here come with easily broken teeth, affect the development of teeth, make the teeth weakly, easily fractured, and easily decay. Also, milk and its product, not only important for development of healthy bone and teeth, also can important nutrient to preserve the dental health of your child, especially early in life. When your child is susceptible to more caries, you can give your child milk after sugary food. You know this age group drink and eat more sugary food or drink. So after eating sugar food, you can give your child cup of milk. Cup of milk reduce the harmful acid in your child's mouth. Thus preserve the dental health. Reduce the bacterial acid attack of the teeth. So reduce the decay formation. And also its product, cheese, not only as a rich source of calcium for healthy bone and healthy teeth, but also preserve the dental health by provide a protective rule on the outer surface of the teeth of your child, on the outer surface of the enamel. This protein casein prevent the acid attack of bacteria, so reduce the formation of caries in your child as possible. So it's not only a rich source of calcium and other products and other nutrient elements, but also can preserve the dental health, reduce the caries in children as possible, because it reduces the harmful acid. So we know that the calcium is the main mineral of bone-forming mineral. Evidence show that calcium maximize bone mass. If person take adequate amount of calcium, the required amount of calcium every day, can maximize the bone mass and reduce the bone loss that occurring with age in the future. So calcium requirement vary by age. From this picture you can see here, from birth to 6 months, you need 210 milligram. From 7 to 12 months, you need 270 milligram. From 1 to 3 years, you need 500 milligram. From 4 to 8 years, you need 800 milligram. From 9 to 18 years, 1300 milligram. From 19 to 50 years, 1000, and over the 50 years, 1200 milligram. We see here from this picture the requirement of calcium vary by age, and the highest requirement of calcium to age group. In the teenager from 9 to 18 years, and also in the old age over 15 years. So this is why over 15 years this age group need more calcium, because bone resorption here in this age group is more than the bone formation. So need high amount of calcium per day. And also here in the teenager 9 to 18 years, this is the growth spurt, the highest requirement of calcium. So the question, why is calcium so important for teens, as seen in this picture? Why? Because in this age group, 75% of bone mass built by this age, by the end of this age, by about 17 to 18 years old. So your child needs adequate amount of calcium, or the required amount of calcium, to build strong bone, to help them start their adult life with strong bone, to prevent loss of bone in the future, to prevent also osteoporosis that occurring with age. So this is very important. The calcium is very important in this age group. Your child needs about 1,300 milligram. This meaning at least 4 cups of milk per day. As in this picture, this cup of milk contain or provide your child with 300 milligram. So at least need 4 cups of milk to build strong bone. If your child in this age group don't like milk, you can give its product. You can give your child its product, such as cheese, such as yogurt. Yogurt also easily digested and also provide calcium, is the rich source of calcium for your child, like milk. And also you can give your child fortified juice, any juice that contain calcium, such as orange juice. And also you can give your child nutrients that contain calcium, such as cabbage, such as cauliflower. And also nuts. So this all nutrient, cauliflower, nuts, cabbage, sardine, and also broccoli contain high amount of calcium also, but not than milk, not more than milk. Milk is the highest amount of calcium. But if your child not like milk, you can give them a various type of food that contain calcium, sorry. And also, the most important point here in this age, reduce the junky food and also reduce the carbonated drink, because carbonated drink like Pepsi also interrupted with calcium absorption. So as possible, reduce the carbonated drink. And also if your child in this age group not like milk, thinking that milk makes him fat, so you can give him low fat or zero fat milk that also give your child the required amount of calcium. Also you can give your child calcium supplement. This is after discussing with doctor. So all these solutions to help them reach the required amount of calcium per day to build strong bone as possible, because 75% of the bone is built at the age of this age group by 17 to 19 years old. And also another question, is only about calcium? In each age group, not only about intake of calcium to build strong bone, but also eat well or eat right. Every age group to protect their bone or to build strong bone, especially in the teens age, because 75% of the bone complete at the end of this age. Help your child to start adult life with strong bone. So eat right, meaning eating various type of food, of nutrient element that contain various nutrient element that important for healthy body and healthy bone. And also exercise is very important in each age group, especially in teenager and also in early in life. Encourage your child to do exercise at least 2 to 3 times per week, 1/2 hour per time. This helps them to build strong bone as possible, because bone increase its thickness by mechanical stress. So, studies show that people with regular exercise have thicker bone density than those with sedentary lifestyle without any exercise, have thin bone. So, weight-bearing exercise is very important. Encourage your child to do this exercise to help them to build strong bone. Bone during mechanical stress increase density by stimulate this stress stimulate the bone to deposit collagen fiber and mineral, which is the internal and external structure of the bone. And this also why astronauts in Arabic رواد الفضاء loss of their bone density 1 to 2% of their bone density loss per month, because loss of the gravitational force, loss of the stress on the bone, make their bone less dense, reduce the density of their bone. So the bone build its density by mechanical stress, especially the exercise, especially weightlifting, as seen in this picture. This weightlifting increases the mechanical stress of the bone, on the bone of your child, and help them to build strong bone as possible. And finally, drinking milk. Drinking milk meaning take adequate amount of calcium because it's the rich diet of calcium. Milk and its a product. So this is very important to build strong bone, especially in teens age. Then I will talk about what's the meaning of bone remodeling. Bone remodeling is the lifelong process where the mature bone is removed from an area by the process called bone resorption, and the bone formed another area that new bone tissue is formed. Old bone is removed and new bone is formed by the process called new bone formation or ossification. This is the definition of bone remodeling. The meaning of lifelong. This is meaning that the bone is a living tissue, meaning there is a continuous bone remodeling throughout life. In the adult, it occurs every 3 to 5 years to remove old bone and form a new bone, that more strength, more resistance bone. So this is the meaning of lifelong. Before I talk about why this occurs, I will talk about the mechanism of bone remodeling. The mechanism meaning what cell that cause the bone remodeling. There are two responsible cells that responsible for the bone remodeling, as seen in this picture. This is the osteoblast cell. Osteoblast, the origin from osteoprogenitor. Osteoprogenitor meaning mesenchymal stem cell that converted to the pre-osteoblast and then to the osteoblast, and this converted to the osteocyte. This cell on the surface of the bone is very important for the bone formation. It's responsible for the bone formation, for mineralization of the bone, form the new bone formation, new mineral, collagen fiber, and also signaling the osteoclast to remove the old bone. This is on the surface of the bone. And as seen in this picture, this is the osteocyte. Osteocyte is the same osteoblast, but it is the osteoblast that's surrounded by mineralized bone matrix. This is the meaning of osteocyte. We know, as seen in this picture, it's connected with each other with cytoplasmic extension. As seen in this osteon, in Arabic, الخلية العظمية. Osteon consists of osteocyte, which is the osteoblast that's surrounded by mineralized bone. connecting with each other with cytoplasmic extension and take their nutrition from the blood vessel here in the center of the osteon in the Havesian canal. Take their nutrition. And other cell is the osteoclast, that's responsible for bone resorption. This cell also on the surface of the bone. It comes on the surface of the bone after signaling from the osteoblast to remove the old bone. Its origin is hematogenic in origin, from the blood cell monocyte. It's converted to the pre-osteoclast and then osteoclast. It's a large multinucleated cell have a brush border to provide removing of the bone, resolve the bone at a great surface area. So this is the main cells in the bone remodeling. This is the mechanism of bone remodeling. So the question here, why do bone remodel or regenerate throughout life? As seen in this picture, there is a continuous cycle throughout life, every 3 to 5 years, of a new bone formation by osteoblast and old bone formation removed by the osteoclast. So there's a continuous cycle of this. Why this occurs throughout life? Even we get older, even we reach full height. This is for two reasons. Because bone is a good source of calcium, is the storehouse of calcium. Calcium is very responsible for every cell in our body. So if there is any shortage in calcium in our body, bone provide our body with the calcium, help to maintain the level of calcium in the blood. This is the first reason. And the second reason, even the bone get older, become older, the bone loss of its strength and also become more fragile, easily fractured, more weak. So this occurs throughout life to maintain its strength and also to make the bone more resistant, increase resiliency of the bone, more resistance bone. And also why the bone can regenerate or can repair themselves, or they can repair itself, the bone repair itself, because also osteoblasts in the bone matrix, osteoblasts form the new bone formation. This new bone formation, bone matrix, contain various growth factors than other tissue in the body. So this is also why the bone can repair itself than other tissue in the body. So this is the bone remodeling process. The osteoclast, by signaling from the osteoblast, come to the bone through the bloodstream to resolve the bone by releasing enzyme and then remove the old bone. And after their work is done, the cell, osteoclast cell, disappear and osteoblast cell appear to form a new bone formation. To form the mineralization of the bone, it forms the collagen fiber and then coat this collagen fiber with adhesive substance to help the calcium adhere to this collagen fiber, because a new bone formation cannot occur without calcium. It needs calcium incorporate inside the bone to form a new bone formation. So this is why the bone remodel or regenerate, and also this is the remodeling process. And then I will talk about the orthodontic treatment, the fact of orthodontic treatment. Orthodontic treatment is possible by applying force to move the tooth through the alveolar bone, and this depends or can be achieved by proper use of mechanics. So this how orthodontic tooth movement depend on the efficient bone remodeling surround the tooth. As seen in this picture, we know that the tooth have a heavy collagenous fiber. This heavy collagenous supporting structure or heavy collagenous fiber or supporting, this meaning heavy collagenous supporting structure, touch the tooth to bone. This called periodental ligament, surrounded by alveolar bone that support the tooth. During treatment, it depends on the fact Bone force on the tooth cause changes in the periodontal ligament that stimulate the bone, this bone, alveolar bone, surround the periodontal ligament, they stimulate the bone to remodeling, and then the tooth movement occur. This is the fact of orthodontic treatment, depend on efficient bone remodeling of the alveolar bone that surround the tooth. So, the area here, the area in periodontal ligament with the direction of the force is called the pressure area or pressure area or compression area. But the area in the opposite direction of the force is called tension area. And the bone below the tension area is formed by the osteoblast. And the bone below the compression area is removed by the osteoclast. So this is the fact of orthodontic tooth movement. Bone formed here and bone resorbed here in the compression area. Compressed periodontal ligament. So the movement occurs through the changes in the periodontal ligament. So why we call this process or this tooth movement is a periodontal ligament phenomenon, because it occurs through the periodontal ligament. Changes the periodontal ligament that stimulates the bone to remodel. We have two forces in orthodontic treatment. Two forces: optimal force, optimal type, and heavy force. Optimal type. The aim of orthodontic treatment to move the tooth, painless movement of the tooth under optimal force, meaning optimal force that approximate the capillary pressure of the blood vessel, not exceed the capillary pressure of the blood vessel, and this equal to 20 to 26 or 25 gram per square centimeter. This is the approximate or the optimal force that approximate the capillary blood pressure in the root surface area. Because if we exceed this optimal force, there is no action. And if we exceed this force, no action or damage, more damage, and reduce the tooth movement or delay the tooth movement, not reduce, delay and damage to the periodontal ligament. And below the optimal force, there is no action. So we need to move the tooth under optimal force, not exceeding the approximate level or approximate pressure of the capillary blood vessel in the root surface area, as seen in this picture. This is the optimal force. Develop changes in the periodontal ligament. Develop two sides, tension side and compression side. Here in the tension side, osteoblast form a new bone formation. It changes in the periodontal ligament, stretching of periodontal ligament, and here increase the vascularity in the periodontal ligament, stimulate the osteoblast cell to form a new bone formation under this area. And in the compression area, the area with the direction of the force, here compressed blood vessel and also reduce the thickness of periodontal ligament to about thirds of its normal thickness of periodontal ligament, and this stimulates the osteoclast to remove the bone directly below the compression area by the process called frontal resorption. So frontal resorption is the removing of bone under the compression area, under the compression area, by applying the optimal force without any occluding the blood vessel. We need to move the tooth without any necrosis in the blood vessel, only compression the blood vessel, without cutting in the blood supply. So the aim of orthodontic treatment to move the tooth through frontal resorption by applying optimal force as possible, not exceed the capillary blood pressure. The tooth movement to occur in orthodontic treatment. To complete movement to occur need secondary changes, not only in the tension and in the compression area, but also there is a secondary bone resorption and deposition. To complete this movement, as seen in this picture, we see this tooth, we need to move this tooth in the lingual direction. So the area with the direction of the force is the compression area here. So meaning the bone resorbed here. And the area opposite the direction of the force means the bone formation formed here in the tension area. This is not only occur, but also another changes occur in the opposite direction. Here, opposite to the resorption, there is deposition of the bone in the lingual plate, and opposite to the deposition, there is a resorption of buccal plate. The aim of this change is to maintain the thickness of the bone plate, buccally and palatally, and also to help to move the tooth more than the thickness of the bone. This is the aim of the secondary changes, to complete tooth movement for a successful tooth movement to occur. And under optimal force, the tooth movement, the bone remodeling in the tension side and in the compression side occur within nearly 2 days. But under uncontrolled force or heavy force, this other type of force in orthodontic treatment, heavy. We must avoid to use heavy force as possible, because if we apply heavy force in orthodontic treatment on the tooth, heavy force cause here in the compression area, as seen in this picture, not only compress the blood vessel, but cut the blood vessel in the periodental ligament, meaning the periodental ligament loss of its function. There is the cell here die. There is a necrosis or called hyalinized tissue, as seen in this picture. This is in the tension side, in the pressure side. Here, the blood vessel, cut the blood vessel, crushed by the heavy force in the pressure area. So, there is clear cell area, loss of structure, macroscopic appearance of the cell, structureless macroscopic appearance. Clear area. The cell died because of cell necrosis, because of cut of blood supply. Here the periodental ligament non-functional, as seen in this picture. So the tooth movement delay, damage occur to the periodental ligament, and tooth movement delay because tooth movement occur after the periodontal ligament here, undamaged periodontal ligament, cell move from undamaged area to remove or regenerate the damaged tissue or hyalinized tissue and resorb the osteoclast, resorb the bone under the hyalinized tissue. This is the process called to remove the bone, resorb the bone under the hyalinized tissue after applying heavy force is called undermining resorption. So as possible, reduce undermining resorption in orthodontic treatment, because undermining resorption that occur after applying heavy force on the tooth, this leads to the necrosis in the periodontal ligament, and also here in the tension area, not increase in the vascularity, but reduce in the vascularity because of tear of blood vessel, because the force exceeds the capillary blood vessel pressure. So, cause tearing, ischemia in the tension side, and cut off the blood supply in the pressure side. Cause hyalinization, as seen in this picture. So the aim of orthodontic treatment to move the tooth with the frontal resorption under optimal force. As seen in this picture shows the difference between frontal resorption under optimal force and undermining resorption under heavy force. This picture, frontal resorption. Frontal resorption, the changes occur to move the teeth occur in the periodental ligament in the tension side in the opposite direction of the force. Here the periodental ligament stretched and increasing the vascularity stimulate the bone formation here. And in the osteoclast here in the pressure side, the blood vessel compressed, only compressed, not cut off. So increase also the vascularity, stimulate the osteoclast to remove the bone directly below the compression area. This is the compression area in the direction of the force. So remove by the process called frontal resorption, painless movement of the tooth without any occluding of the blood vessel, without any necrosis or without any cell die in the periodontal ligament. Only compression. And this is the aim of orthodontic treatment. And this the picture. In this picture, if the heavy force is applied to the tooth. Heavy force, if applied to the tooth, there is a necrosis in the pressure side. In the side, this pressure side, with the direction of the force, there is a necrosis, crush of the blood vessel here. And the cell from undamaged area need to move to regenerate this damaged area and to remove bone under this damaged area. And the movement delay cause damage because the force exceeds the capillary blood vessel pressure, cause damage to the periodontal ligament, and cause bone to remove by undermining resorption, and the tooth delay movement, cause delay in movement of the teeth from 1 week to 2 weeks. And this, there is no wrong belief that heavy force in orthodontic treatment, meaning reduced time of the treatment. This is wrong belief. Because heavy force in the orthodontic treatment cause undermining resorption, removing of the bone under damaged periodontal ligament, and delay the tooth movement, not reduce the time of the treatment. So this is the end of the first part of this lecture. I hope to understand this lecture. I see you in the next part. Thank you for your listening. شكرا لحسن استماعكم، وإن شاء الله ألقاكم في الجزء الثاني من هذه المحاضرة. أتمنى افتهمتوا هذه المحاضرة. شكرا لحسن استماعكم.